It's your girl Riva, and I'm back again with another video. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Riva, and it's very nice to meet you. Before we get into anything, make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you guys give this video a thumbs up. And as always, I always like to say, if you like what they're saying, if you don't like what they're saying, if you agree, if you disagree, make sure that you put it in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. So again, there's a panel. There's 7 women, 3 men, with Kevin Samuels that called in. So that's 4 men, 7 women. Based off of the title, I'm not really sure how this conversation is going to go. However, let's just go ahead and get right into it.
Kevin,
what's going on, people?
Yo, what's good, man? Good.
Hey.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Kevin.
So we're talking about 2 different things. One, part of image called digital footprint. Once it's on the internet, it's forever. And I don't know all your backgrounds, but I would tell you as an image professional, people have spent upwards of $100,000 to remove everything off the internet, and they still can't get it done. Find me a Fortune 2000 CEO that is happy to have naked pictures of his woman out there. Men care. We are territorial. So just like the one woman who says the married people there, that's anecdotal. And one thing I want to ask all the women there, Myron's been trying to give you what men think, and you've been pushing back. Why is it so hard for you ladies to accept that we think differently than you do?
We can start hearing. Yeah, he can hear you guys if you guys talking to Mike. We can start hearing and then go around.
Okay.
So,
I mean, it's not hard to accept that. It's just saying us women, we have our own opinion as well. So, I mean, I accept a man's opinion and how he feels, but like how I said, I'm not going to go for the guy that thinks that way. I'd rather stay single and find somebody that thinks the way I do. And
Well,
so,
so understand something. You control access to sex. We control access to relationships and marriage, so it's not your choice.
It's the man's choice, and it's the man that accepts me who I am.
Right. So we're not talking about a man that you don't value. See, a man that you value, a woman values. See, this all sounds well and good for when you're in a power position with a man and you can take him or leave him. But what about a man that you want?
I don't want a man that doesn't want me. I'm sorry to say. See, so you could ask that question though. But
okay, so basically what you've said is you haven't met a man that you value higher than yourself.
I've met a man that I value higher than myself, but I wasn't ready around that time because I was not ready. Now that I look back at it, I'm like, okay, I should have valued that man because he was good enough for me because he accepted me for who I am. But coming across other men that are not like that, I mean, I'm not going to take a guy that doesn't accept me for who I am. I'm just going to be like, okay, on to the next one, to the man that actually accepts me for who I am. So if you ask a different woman this question that actually wants to pursue a man that she's interested in and doesn't like her for what she does, then she might just give you the answer that you're looking for. But for me,
what I'm looking for is the truth, and then how well you ladies.
That's my truth. But I'm being honest.
Okay. What I'm looking for, I'll let you speak. Can I have the opportunity, please?
Yes, sir.
What I'm looking for is not your truth. I'm looking for the truth. The truth is not really subjective. And so that's one thing that with modern women today, I mentioned on my program, whenever you press modern women, it tends to get the truth becomes subjective, variable, or extreme. Now, with you say you're not looking for a particular man, that's fine. But my thing is this. When women are looking to finally settle down and be found by someone, men think different than you do. Especially men with options.
I agree with that. But there's different women, different personalities, and different people in this world. So, like how I said before, I'm sticking to what I'm saying. I'm not like most women.
Of course
you are. Ask a woman that is like that, of course, she's going to be like, yeah, I want to settle down. And I want to look at a man.
Like I said, it's always that. How old are you?
27.
Okay. You'll think differently probably by 37.
No, I've already thought about this. I already told myself if I don't find anybody that accepts me,
like, you can talk and you can have your opinion and whatever, but like, just to disagree with him just for the point of disagreeing, I think is just a little bit aggravating, I would say, to the point of the conversation, because Yeah, when you're 15, you don't think the same as when you're 25. When you're 25, you don't think the same as when you're 35. So just to prove him right, she's going to say as a 27-year-old that, no, I know for a fact when I'm 37, I'm going to think exactly like this. No, you don't. You don't know what's going to happen. So you don't know if you're going to think that. But she just said something that sounded a little crazy, so we're going to play that back a little bit.
And I want to
like I said, it's always how old are you?
27.
Okay. You'll think differently probably by 37.
Mm-hmm. No, I've already thought about this. I already told myself, if I don't find anybody that accepts me for who I am, I'm just going to go to sperm bank and just raise a child myself. But
okay. This is the buy a dog, die alone. And guess what? You're free to have that. You're free to have those things.
I love who I am.
That's the beautiful thing about this country. Women are free to buy dogs, have sperm bank children, and die alone. No one's going to stop you. But I'm talking about the kind and caliber of men that you women would want. See, like I said, again, this is easy to say when you're in a power position, you're still at the peak or closer to the peak of your hotness. But 10 years from now, it will change. It always does. Halle Berry's complaining about child support and bitching about having to pay money. And I don't think anybody on this panel was hotter than Halle Berry was, and not the hottest hottest woman in the world 4 years in a row, 4 years running. So I don't
know. See my mother grow. But a man. I mean, I don't know. Like, I've seen my mother grow, and she's been in 2 marriages, and she was not posting her ass out there, and she got tried by my stepfather and my dad too. And I mean, like,
another misconception. It's not just about showing your ass on the internet. It's more than that. You know, you're speaking from her perspective, but that's not how it always is. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes that's not what the only final straw is for somebody, or, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't take just that. And also, you know, who you're with and what you're attracting to, that has something to do with it too. But it's not just about showing your ass. And the fact that you saw your mom, that doesn't mean that that's going to be your story either.
How my mother has been always a good woman, and these men, well, men in general, certain men, not all men, because I can't say all men are the same. I'm not going to be sexist or bi.
These men in general, certain men. Sis, which one is it?
Not sense.
All men are
But I'm just going to say that some men, most men, don't appreciate somebody. So I see my mother raise me the type of woman that I am, and she's always told me, you don't need somebody to define you. So if you want to have somebody...
What does your mother do for a living?
My mom's an eye surgeon.
What's your father? What'd you say, your stepfather?
My stepfather. Yeah. What about him?
What did he do?
He owns a corporate company for cement.
Okay, so your mother was an exceptional earner.
Yeah, she was an exceptional earner.
Okay, all right. So her options and your options and most women's options are different. Mm-hmm. So your mother raised you to have, you can believe what you want. I'm not trying to change what you believe, but what I'm trying to understand is how often do you modern women understand how men think? And see, that's what Myron was getting to push on. I'm hearing anecdotal, my mom, my this, my that. Do you understand how men think?
I do. I have a conversation with my father all the time.
That's one man. Because there's no way, if you guys truly understood how men think, the amount of pushback you guys are giving Myron would have been much less. But see, this is what happens when you tend to speak to women who are younger and kind of around the peak of their hotness. The world is still your oyster. Now, if you want to make examples based upon an eye surgeon, all right, but I don't know many people whose mothers are eye surgeons. Right. But most women need a man to get from one point in life to another because you earn less than us. The average median income for the woman in this country is $25,123. The average man is $36,000 a year. You need 2 incomes. So most people can't get to the end of life. So this whole variable notion about I'll just have a baby on my own, such and so forth, unless you're talking about making $150,000 to $200,000 for the rest of your life, I don't know how you plan on doing that.
But also, why would you choose that? Why would you say something like that? Like, why would you choose that for your child? Why would you choose that for your child? oh well, if I don't find the right person, I'll just do this and I'll just have my own baby by myself. And like, who cares about what your child is gonna be missing or lacking, or the lack of identity, or you don't even know that person that you actually are having a child with, so you don't even know what kind of genes will be in your child. Like, what I don't get that. I don't get that mentality.
I have a quick question.
That's the goal. What are your high income skills though?
I'm studying cybersecurity, engineering, and I can make up to 120 to 200K a year. So I'm
okay. And I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm gonna tell you that is. But but that's the new. That's not the norm. And see, and what I hear from a lot of modern women is you cherish your independence more than you cherish what a man brings to the table. It's like if a man can't pay his way, pay 100% of the way for you guys, he's not useful. Well, I think you guys are going to realize something in the next 10 years, that the world has told you that you can have it all. You can't. Life is about choices and trade-offs for us all.
I have a quick question.
Good.
So piggybacking on the idea that she said that she'd like to raise a kid on her own, what about those women that didn't necessarily, because we're talking about like the whole comparison thing, so what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Yeah, like,
right? So like obviously, so like for example, it's...
Yeah, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about what she just said about going to a sperm bank and having a child on her own by choice. Those situations, there's so many different aspects as to, you know, why that woman is by herself and the situation of raising the child on her own. I think that's going into like completely different waters than where the conversation should be going. But let's see.
You're asking me?
Well, you and like everyone on the page.
First of all, women of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly.
Okay, now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. Here we go with the same old tropes. Here we go with the same old tropes. Yeah, this is the same shit that's been piped into the...
Listen, if you got a point,
one at a time.
One at a time, though.
Yeah. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
Not always true.
More so asking a question from like the child's like first day of birth, right? Children have birth certificates, and it's the woman's like responsibility to sign it. It's not the man's responsibility to sign it. They don't have to sign it. Like
wait. So
I was asking.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so
hold on. That's not, ma'am. That's not true. If you're married, it is your responsibility to sign your child's birth certificate.
But if you're not, is what I asked.
That's the point. You should marry before you carry.
That's an opinion.
That's not an opinion. That's facts. It's statistically. Who's the psychology major? Who's the psychology person on the panel? Children do better in a 2-parent household in general. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
But I don't understand what that necessarily is.
Because a child has because a union of marriage is one of the best institutions human beings have to date for the rearing of children. It's a primary reason. So this whole notion about...
I have opinions, but I also have like the psychological, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's an opinion and there's
what you're still hearing is a lot of women on the panel who understand your points of view. But you're hearing less and less about anything from a man. It's always, every time I've asked a question about a man, it's been something negative, something detracting. Nothing has been positive.
Right. That's true.
I just simply asked a question in regards to like, because you said, do you expect to make 100 to 200,000 to support that child? In regards to Valentina, so I was just curious, like, what you think about the women who don't have a choice in that?
Well, you do have a choice. You just don't like your choices. You chose the man you laid down and made a baby with. True. You chose to bring a child into the world for that man. True. Then you can choose to do your duty.
But psychologically, like we were speaking earlier.
So hold on. But again, those are your choices. See, those are choices. And right now, again, I want you guys to go back and clip this. Every time I've talked about a man, there's been something negative or downside. Yet to hear anything positive about anything regarding a man relationship or the benefit of a man and a woman working together.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have more to say about the man or us, though?
Right. Yeah.
Because if we have nothing positive to say, then in our experience, there's been nothing positive.
In your experience.
Well, if that's the case, you've picked them.
So everything is our choice, right?
Yes. It's reflective. You chose. Yes, you picked. Yes, ma'am. Because just like every man you've chosen, there's been other men who may have been suitable, but you may not. He's not tall enough. He's not this. He's not that. There are no women on this panel that are hideous. You get to pick. See, what you cannot do is what women typically try to do: absolve themselves from all accountability and consequence.
I believe that everybody gets consequences for what they choose to do. However,
really, well, I don't hear any on this panel. She just said, "What did you say? What about the women who didn't do this? Well, what about the mothers who didn't choose to be this?"
I didn't list anything. I specifically asked you a question in regards to children.
I said the one who just spoke before you.
Oh, okay.
Just ready to go off on Kevin.
He's just
ready.
I like how he talks more.
Valentina,
I feel like I can't even say.
Yeah, you can't get a word in.
That's
okay.
Valentina, you had a question, right?
Wait, what were you?
As a single mom.
Okay, yeah. As a single mom, I agree with him saying like, okay, like I chose to lay down, and for the man or whatever. But when you're saying like, oh, I chose to like give birth to the kid, like, what about if you found out you were pregnant when you were 7 months pregnant? Because that was my situation. Like, it was like you're having the baby, or you're like, that's just your responsibility. Like, it's just. Or giving up the baby for adoption, but that my mom wasn't gonna do that. Like, that's more like,
Sorry, how does that
happen? Well, no, so first of all, to answer your question, most women don't find out they're pregnant in month 7.
No.
Huh?
I mean, that's just not the norm, especially with all medical technology today. You have a monthly cycle. It does not come. That's usually trick 1. There are many options down that path. But again, you found out you had a baby on the way. You did have the option to give it up for adoption. You just chose not to exercise that. Still a choice.
Oh, okay. I agree.
And then you were saying something about marriage certificate.
I think that's so necessary to say, especially because of all the deflection off of like women and like, what about the men? The men get to leave and they don't have to be there and I just feel like that's necessary to say because you do have that choice as a woman. That's like the one choice in making a child that you do have, because you definitely, I mean, like a woman definitely cannot get herself pregnant, obviously. But once you are pregnant and you are aware, you are the one that can make all the choices. You can say you're going to keep it, you're not going to keep it, you're going to, give it up for adoption, or you're going to, raise your baby. And more times than none, before a woman has a child, they already know the situation and the dynamics of what they're in. So I can understand his, marry before you carry, because right, yeah, marriage doesn't necessarily mean that both parties are going to stick around, but marriage just kind of gives you another dog in the fight when you're having a child. That's 2 people who are coming together like, yeah, we are, together, and we're going to bring a child into this world. I've already committed to you before this whole situation of having a baby, so in this commitment, you could probably guarantee that I'm going to be holding it down for you the same. So, yeah. Tell me what you guys think.
No, I was asking about the birth certificate. I asked why in most cases it's the mother's responsibility to take care of a child instead of the father's. Because we were talking about men and women, so I was just asking in that instance. Usually, like the court system looks immediately to the woman.
No, not true.
That's not true.
And the thing is, if you have a child and you're married, and the divorce is not final 11 months before the child is married, the father's name goes on. Excuse me, let me finish my example.
Just let him finish, and then you can make your point.
If you're married and find yourself divorced, and your ex-wife has a baby less than 11 months after you're pregnant, after your divorce is final, the father's name, the husband's name goes on the ex-husband's name goes on the birth certificate. That's federal law.
Not the daddy.
Okay.
So it's not.
I think, okay, first of all, that's fact. I definitely think that when it comes to children, that whole situation, like, for sure, like, the woman is, if anything, the woman is going to be favored. But also, this is no shade to my sis in the purple shirt, no shade to her at all. But I do notice that she's, like, looking down at her phone. I don't know if, like, somebody's asking her something that she should ask, but it's clear that she is not equipped for this conversation, because she does not know she doesn't truly know how it works. I think she's just saying stuff, but she doesn't really know how like that situation works. I don't know her at all. I don't know her life, but just based on the things that she's saying and the things that are coming out of her mouth, it sounds clear that she does not really know how like that, like the system and, you know, parenting when it comes to like birth. It just sounds like she's not aware of what she's actually talking about. No
Or it doesn't
shade,
just
though.
automatically default to a woman. The man's name is on the birth certificate. My name ended up on the birth certificate with an ex-wife that way.
Like the majority, we're talking about the majority. Not everyone has children after they get married, and you guys are focusing on the relationships that come from marriage.
But that's a choice.
And you have children.
It's a choice if a woman has a child before she's married or after. That's 100% her choice.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to say the woman has to take accountability that she had the child out of wedlock, and what comes with that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
But why don't the men? That's what I'm asking.
Because I'll answer this. Because this is what can a man
see? But this is what I'm saying. I'm sorry, guys. I know we're almost to the end. I don't want to keep stopping it, but this is what I'm saying. Most of the people who get pregnant, right, and they're in a sticky situation, or they're in a situation where, you know, they're not married, but they're in a relationship, you will always hear them say, I don't care about what he got going on or what anybody else got going on, because this is my baby. You know what I'm saying? Because that's their choice. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she's so stuck on trying to find a way to blame a man in that situation. Because, I mean, every situation is always completely different. It's always completely different. But I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Say woman to have a child if she chooses she does not want to carry it to term. Well, then it is a woman's choice when a child is born in this country. Men have no rights after conception. My mother was a single mother, and she will tell you she believes the same thing I do. She chose to not get married before she had me, and she chose the circumstances in which she raised a child.
He's right on that. He's right on that because it's our choice as women. He's right on that because it's our choice as women. We make that choice, and
I agree that we make those conscious decisions. But what I'm saying is, you can't control like the fate of.
No, I get where you're coming from. Like, you're basically stating like, okay, I had sex with this person. Why can't they take responsibility too? I get that, but like, it's also a man's choice if he doesn't want to be there. But it's also your choice if you want to keep it.
Right. I was just off of the psychological aspect, like they were talking about earlier. Like he said, it's a man's.
What it comes down to is, let's just keep it a stack, man. I'm going to just say it because everyone else is too scared to say it. Most women don't have any type of accountability when it comes to child rearing, having children, and the consequences that come with it. You pick who you have sex with. Women have unilateral control on who gets born in the United States. Men have zero access to that. So if you're a single mom, it's your fault. And then on top of that, let's also add on that women initiate 80% of divorces and most breakups. So it's not that the father isn't in the life. A lot of the time, he's not allowed to be in the child's life. If we're going to keep it a stack, you know what I'm saying?
That's true. I agree with you because I know some women like that.
I understand what you're saying.
And a lot of women use a child as a pivotal point to exercise leverage to cause pain in the man's life. It happens all the time.
This is why marry before you carry, because in the example you were given, what about if a woman does this? Most time when a man is having sex with a woman, it is not to get her pregnant. They're having casual sex.
Right.
It's not like he said, you know what, let's have sex and I want you to be the mother of my child. If a woman, and this is the thing where I tell men, don't trust a woman on birth control. You better back up twice, because if she gets pregnant, you lose. You lose, because it doesn't matter what she said before it. After she's pregnant, you lose all rights. Because it is 100% her control. See, I believe in a world where women have freedom of choice. You choose to be a mother, you choose not to be a mother. But then I also believe in a world where men have the right to do a financial abortion. You can kill a baby. I should not be able to have to take care of it if you choose to make me a father when I don't want to be one.
That's a very good
That's
point.
Understandable.
That's true.
But it's circumstantial, like I said before, in my opinion.
But here's the thing. Let's be real. If the child support system was fair, to where if a woman chose to, a man could actually sign off his rights, not be financially responsible, not have you come afterwards, do you think the out of wedlock birth rate would stay steady, increase, or decrease?
Decrease.
We gotta play that
Just
back,
to make me a father when I don't want to be one.
That's understandable.
That's true.
But it's circumstantial, like I said before, in my opinion.
Well, but here's the thing. Let's be real. If the child support system was fair, to where if a woman chose to, a man could actually sign off his rights, not be financially responsible, not have you come afterwards, do you think the out of wedlock birth rate would stay steady?
So, whoa, mind blown. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if there was some kind of documentation that you can say that I didn't want to go through with this, and so I waive all of my rights? She can, be 100% responsible for this child, and I will have no parts. I won't pay anything. I will just X out myself out of this child's life. There's so many kids that would not be here right now, for a fact. There's a lot of kids that would not be born, for a fact, because nobody would want to really have to deal with that, because there's so many. I mean, I don't want to go too far into this, but there's people who have babies, and then they already know what's up. They already know what they're going to do when it comes to financially. They already had the plan premeditated. You know what I'm saying? From a long time ago. So, but yeah, I think this is an amazing conversation, and I think this is an amazing realization for these women. I'm not saying that none of them knew this before, but there's something to definitely think about. It's definitely something to think about. Definitely understand where he's coming from with the marry before you carry, 100%. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure that you guys hit that subscribe button. As you guys know, I post a video every single day. How can you not subscribe? How can you not subscribe? New content every single day. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Make sure that you please leave your comments in below. We're going to talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching.